to the destination for TV super fan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, everybody out there in the YouTube world, and welcome to AfterBuzz TV's NXT After Show, exclusively on AfterBuzz TV. I'm one of your hosts, the Internet's Martin B. Donica. We are down one member of the NXT team today. Bill Hanstock is on assignment in Las Vegas, but joined as always by the currently subpar of the weather, Hobo.
This is gonna be one of those shows where I'm gonna be turning around a lot and coughing behind me. So enjoy that.
No.
Get a little phlegm on you.
No, Steve Kaufman is in here. It's just you and me.
Right, but
Yeah.
I'm a coughing.
So you're a Kaufman. Steve Kaufman's here.
No.
Okay. Sorry, I was confused.
Right.
Where can the folks find you on the social medias?
Find me on the social media at True Hobo. I was just about to post an Instagram before we went live.
Oh, of what?
Of me and a guy who put his hands over my eyes mid-match, which is...
That's not fun.
It's not fun. I don't know who's steering the ship.
Well, it's your body. It's not a ship.
My body is a ship. It's also a temple.
And with that, we will go right into tonight's NXT. We're playing a little bit of Rich Swan because you know what? I like the song.
We can handle that.
It's no all night long,
No.
but I could listen to this all night long.
Can you?
All night.
On a loop?
I tried. I looped it for as long as I could take it, and I lasted maybe about 40 minutes until I realized.
You could handle that for about 40 minutes.
Yeah, I could handle that for about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So we got our first match of the night was Rich Swan versus Kona Reeves, who I think you had mentioned that this might be a re-debut for him.
He's sort of the perpetual Hawaiian guy.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Kona Hawaiian guy. You know what they did? It's because Moana came out today, and they're just trying to get on that Polynesian train.
Sure.
That's probably what it was.
That's definitely what it is out today.
It's out today.
Oh.
As we're taping this live on November 23rd, opening day for Disney's Moana.
Y'all gotta get The Rock in. He'll promote it.
Oh, we're trying.
Yeah.
Don't get us wrong. We're trying to get The Rock in, but he's a little busy.
He'll come on NXT.
Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, he'll be here for. No, wasn't talking about anything else. I'm talking about for NXT.
Oh, for NXT.
Yeah.
For nothing else but NXT.
Yeah, I mean we don't have too many other wrestling programs.
I mean, what does he need to talk about Moana for? It's all over the place. You
Yeah.
don't need more press.
No, that's.
It's already a Disney movie with The Rock. I mean, really, what's there to talk about?
And we're done talking about it. This match looked like it was going to be going in a pretty fun place. We got a lot of power from Kona Reeves, tossing Rich Swan all the way across the ring.
Huge deal to start with. Super aggressive,
Yeah.
Kona was. Really not even waiting. I mean, the bell rang and he was on top of Swan, showing that he had, obviously, the weight advantage and the strength advantage, and Swan was hard-pressed to have a comeback at that particular time because Kona closed the gap so quick. Just on top of him, quicker than a hiccup.
You didn't think that from the last time we saw Kona Reeves, whatever his previous moniker was, if somebody in the chat could help us out. Hi, live chat. If somebody could help us out with that. We haven't seen him use his size like this. Or is it just the fact that Rich Swan is just that small of a person?
I think it is the fact that he's fighting Rich Swan. But we didn't get to see anything particularly, Kona is re-debuting. He has a full entrance, some new gear, a little bit of an altered look, but we didn't get anything that was uniquely him, except for maybe that pop-up Samoan. But that's not his.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, that's not his. But a lot of the aggression that you were talking about came out very quickly. Like, he didn't, as you were mentioning at the top of the match, where he just rushed Rich Swan, but also that pop-up, and it took a lot to take him down. Rich was literally fighting from below him, like uppercutting him with clotheslines in order to get him on his back.
Yeah, finally when Rich actually started to gain some momentum. Though he had a small flurry in the beginning, he was able to use his speed, but it didn't quite pan out. Eventually, he was able to get to his feet and just chopping Kona down with one clothesline after another. I think it was a 4 of just straight meat-on-meat clothesline. Swan giving it all. Then he hits the ropes, finally bringing Kona down.
Like an amateur lumberjack, Rich Swan chopping that tree down.
He's a lumberjack, and he's okay.
and finish the song in your head. Brad Barty in the chat. Kona is former Noah Potches.
Thank you. Noah.
That was the name.
Noah Kakoa.
Potches before that.
Now he's Kona.
And now he's Kona Reeves.
Kona Bushi. No.
Yeah.
Right, Reeves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like he was getting way ahead of it, but Swan was in the corner. It looked like he was going for his jumping 450 off of nothing. It's like he was in a bounce house,
Boing,
just
boing,
boinging up and down.
boing.
Doesn't get all of it. Ends up getting a front flip, double leg drop.
Hey, I think he could still have won the match.
He hit him really hard.
Like right in the gut.
Yeah.
All the wind right out of him.
It was bad. It was bad. Or the good kind of bad.
Right, no.
Bad
it was,
for-
It was a well-executed, arguably intentional move.
It was bad for Kona Reeves,
Yes.
who had no air in his lungs after that move.
No.
As he hits the double leg drop, though, arena goes dark. We hear that dropped bass, and Sanity makes their way out to the ring and just starts beating up on everybody with no remorse. No, they're not targeting anybody. It's just time to beat
Sanity.
people up.
Sanity just don't care.
No.
They just don't care.
And we noticed Eric Young in his tights. He's only come out in sort of
He's
street clothes.
Wearing trunks, not wearing pants.
Nope.
Like, is he gonna mix it up?
Maybe it's
this evening?
maybe it's a Canadian thing. Who
Maybe.
knows? He gets on the mic and says, "This I'm not going to do an Eric Young impression because I would fear if I tried to do it for too long."
I can do a pretty decent.
Okay, I've got here. I wrote down his whole thing. What he said right there.
Where is it?
Right there.
This world is hanging on by a thread. Complete chaos. But this generation will be remembered. It will be revered. We tried to do this your way. They get nothing. We're not going to ask for permission or look for approval. We are going to tank.
That's pretty good.
It's not bad.
It was like a mixture of Eric Young and Strong Bad. A little bit. Just a little bit. It's pretty good. Dug it. I missed dramatic readings, and we might have, if Eric does more pontificating, we'll have to get you to do more Eric Young. That was pretty good. We go to a commercial after that. We think it's all over. They just decimated everybody. But during the commercial break, No Way Jose comes out to check on his recent tag team partner and challenges Eric Young to a match.
See, I thought that Jose would or should be coming out because he and Rich Swan really parted ways on good terms,
Yeah.
I would say. They lost, but they lost clean. They didn't really hold either one of them accountable for the actual loss itself, so why not just come out to help a bud?
Why
And
not?
he did.
And that's the weirdest thing too, is the Sanity entrance is really long. Like before they even get to the ring, Jose could have danced his way out to the ring
He's
already.
probably doing something.
Probably a catering.
Yeah.
Who knows? Nobody was prepared for Sanity to come out except for Sanity and the sound and visual guys.
Sanity, really, they know what they're doing. No one else knows what they're doing. They don't really look like they know what they're doing, but I think there's a plan there. Some sort of plan. Arguably.
I mean, they're gonna take stuff.
They're gonna take things. They're
Yeah.
gonna loot. They're gonna cause riots. They're gonna burn down Toronto.
I mean, that didn't happen because this is the future. They pre-recorded these matches.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I mean, that would probably be on the news.
Well, if it weren't for Jose, I think they would have burned down Toronto.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
a positive way to look out on it.
If they had beaten down Jose, they would have gone, well, there's no one around to stop us. We already beat, like, the big guy who looks like a palm tree. What are the cops gonna do with their mounted horses?
No.
We're just gonna burn down Canada
Let's just
now.
burn it down, starting with the Air Canada Center.
That's right.
Yeah. 12,000 people be damned.
Thank God for you, No Way Jose. Thank the Lord. You saved Canada.
You saved lives that day.
He did.
And let's not forget Rich Swan and Kona Reeves for their noble sacrifices to stop Sanity.
They tried, God bless them.
They
Rich
tried.
Swan had a flurry in there, but the numbers game always works.
So No Way Jose and Eric Young sort of had an unsanctioned fight. There was a ref around, but it wasn't really a match.
Yeah, never solidified.
So he challenged him to a match. Young came down. They fought it out. But Sanity beat Jose down. Eric Young ends up hitting his...
Nikki Cross hitting Jose from behind with a double drop kick.
Yeah.
That crazy little mate. And then just trying to take hunks of meat out of his back with her claws.
She's like a little badger.
She's dangerous.
Yeah. No, she's terrifying.
Scotch badger.
She slapped the hell out of Eric Young that one time and shut everybody up.
Yep.
Oh, man. I'm excited for Nikki Cross going forward. But we find out later in the show that we are going to get a sanctioned Jose versus Eric Young next week on NXT.
Match.
An actual match. So presumably Sanity won't get involved, or else they're going to cost Eric Young the victory. Though, you know what? It's not, I don't think it's below them to all beat up on Eric Young to get him the victory and then all gang up on Jose. Because we've seen that they beat each other up before.
I sort of imagine, though, that it's going to be one of those situations of they're going to get involved and Eric Young is going to beat the crap out of them. How dare you? I'm trying to make a statement.
Yeah. Maybe. Oh, sorry, both. Hey, I'm sorry about that, both. So the majority of the show, we're going to talk about the main event, but we get a little bit of an update for all of our matches that happened at TakeOver Toronto. We got a recap of the Dusty Finals. We got to hear from the Authors of Pain and Paul Ellering with a very, very strong message. Whether or not you can understand that message is a different story, but it was very strong. They're only on Chapter 3. That's a long book if Chapter 2 is winning the Dusty Cup.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that enough of a statement? I guess not. I guess it's time to, I don't know, kill.
Like well, speaking of kill, we got Billy Kay and Peyton Royce coming up on a friend of the show, Daria Baronato, who's just training in the back, no scheduled match.
She's shadowboxing. She doesn't hear anything, see anything, nothing at all. She's in the zone.
In the zone.
She's a machine.
They ask her to be their tag team partner for the 6-person tag match at the end of the night. And her response, one of my favorite, beat some people up? Sure. Calm, cool, collected, demure, regal.
Like, she doesn't even ask what she gets out of it.
No.
The only thing she wants is the pleasure of actually meeting bone on flesh, you know? Mm-hmm. She's really in the zone. I mean, not even that interesting backstage. Not even, just really driven. Almost driven to the point of, wow, you're kind of creepy.
But if they go, we've been wondering for a little while what they're going to be doing with Daria. She was in another 6-woman tag, like back before Nikki was with Sanity, and we've been wondering what the evolution of her character is. She is a fighter. She is an ultimate fighter, quote unquote ultimate fighter. Well, what are they? Mixed martial artist. Excuse me. Yeah. She's a mixed martial artist fighter, like totally legit. That's what she was training for down here before she started at Tough Enough, and to take that transition up to WWE, you're gonna beat some people up. So I think her acting in her best interest by being this hired gun, this entity of fear, where someone's literally gonna beat you up. I want to be the person to do it.
She's the Lady Ken Shamrock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way to do that.
It works.
I mean,
the most dangerous woman on the roster.
Yeah. If they didn't give her music, I suggest give her Ken Shamrocks.
Yeah.
That would, or like an updated version of it, you know, like they did with Curtis Axel and the Mr. Perfect thing.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Or the Nightheart, or the whatever the new Heart Foundation, or the new with the Bret Hart theme.
Right.
Yeah, that would have been really cool, man.
I mean, there's still time.
Yeah, there's still time. She can, if Noah Pachis can re-debut, there's still time for Daria Baronato.
You mean
Kona Reeves.
Reeves?
Yep. I mean, Kona Reeves. Though I loved the line, but I loved as they were like, cool, we'll see you out there. And she's just million-yard stare, just like, I'm going to beat somebody up. I'm going to beat somebody up. I'm going to beat somebody up. Just instantly, the violence in her, she's imagining what she's going to do to these 3 women on the other side of the ring. We get a little bit from Ty Dillinger after his match. He thought he had a perfect trajectory. Man, but this was after TakeOver, but Survivor Series. All about that crowd was all about Ty Dillinger. Raw, Ty Dillinger. Everybody wants to see this guy succeed, and we say it time and time again. He is NXT's favorite. He is the NXT roster's favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
So, and that's from firsthand experience. If you want to go back, I mean, they're a little dated at this point, but if you want to go back and listen to our interviews with Tyler Breeze, Finn Balor, Sasha Banks, and Bayley, go back and listen to those. Anytime we ask them who's somebody to watch out for, they all say Ty Dillinger.
Yep. And
we will keep saying it until the man is world champion. But he says, I don't know what's next. 10,000 people stood up at the end of his match. He will not give up. He is still a perfect 10. I'm excited to see where this goes.
Yeah,
I'm beyond excited.
He's got quite an uphill battle. He was right in what he said. He had a lot of momentum going in, and it's hard then once you suffer a loss after actually gaining some traction. I mean, it was sort of it's the traction of the fans behind him because he hasn't really gained any more wins than he had when he was teaming with Bobby Roode. It's the traction of people actually gravitating toward you, and I don't think his traction's been hurt. If that is the measure of how one gauges traction, I think everybody's behind Ty Dillinger. Obviously, the Canadian crowd is, and I think, well, we are, and if we're any indication of how the world looks at Ty Dillinger, then I think he's still right up there.
I mean, if you go on iTunes and you look at NXT, we're some of the first voices that come up there. So I'd like to think that we speak for the community. You know, that's what we're about. That's what we're about here. We're bridging the gap between the fans and the professionals.
That's right.
And if the professionals are saying "Wow, Ty Dillinger," and we're saying "Wow, Ty Dillinger," and now the fans are starting to say "Wow, Ty Dillinger," it's only a matter of time.
We've been a little bit ahead of the curve.
We usually are.
Yeah. But we catch some flack for it. But we're right in the end, ain't we?
Yep.
That's right.
We'll get there. Elias Sampson. Next, we we get a little bit from our new tag team champions, DIY, and their emotional journey to this point. They've been all over the world. They've had an amazing journey to the WWE, to NXT, and to have that. I'll pose this question to you. What does your first taste of gold feel like? What is your first championship?
It's overwhelming. You really can't. You can't put it into words. First championship I ever won was actually at the Key Club in Hollywood.
I remember.
So it was a big venue. It was a big show. I had to beat Eric Watts and Mario Banks, both of them together, to beat that to win that championship. So it was more than I could really put into words, because it's everything you want and you work for. So when you finally actually have it in your hands, you don't know quite what to do. It's like, well, the journey's over. I've got it now. But it's one of those things of if you have it, you always have to keep striving to maintain it. And I learned that over time. It's not about winning a championship, it's about maintaining the championship and retaining the championship. So their challenge now is making sure that they are the best and continue to be the best. They cannot slack, they cannot slow down, they have to continue to train and be the top tier athletes that they are, because everyone now is gunning for you. Everybody wants the championship.
And especially coming off of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, we have a lot of new teams that may or may not stay. We see that Rich Swan and No Way Jose are still kind of hanging out together and they still have that bond. So seeing fresh blood with the championship could cause some new folks to come in. And they themselves started as a tag team in the Tag Team Classic, and now they're the champions. So there is quite the road ahead for the entirety of the tag team division in NXT. We don't know what new tag teams may be coming from outside of the Performance Center that might be signed at any moment. Sure. We don't know what tag teams are in the Performance Center waiting to debut, waiting to make their splash, and it could be in a tag team title match against DIY.
It could be.
We don't know. That's what's great.
That's why DIY has to stay on top, and that's the challenge they have. Anybody at any time can come in and challenge you for that championship. You have to be ready for any sort of plan, from Authors of Pain to even if two of the cruiserweights were teamed up for a night. and decided that they wanted to challenge.
Nice and Gulak have been a semi-regular tag team since
Right.
the end of the Cruiserweight Classic.
So you got to be ready for them. You got to be ready for anything. That's the challenge. That's the hard part about being a champion.
You never know who's going to come
Be
after
ready
you.
For anybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they still have the Revival still has their return match
Oh, God,
for,
yeah.
for their rematch clause, so they have a chance to regain their championship in what could be a remarkable match.
Yeah.
Which probably will be, knowing the two of them and their work habits.
I mean, what can we say? They keep compounding on top of the matches that they've had. Each match becomes a higher and higher stake match.
And a higher standard of match.
Right. So who the hell knows?
Speaking of who the hell knows what's going to happen with Mickie James, because she seems to have been rebitten by the WWE bug. We know that she's been doing work in other companies since then, and they didn't really acknowledge that. We talk a little bit more about that on the TakeOver after show that we did on Sunday with Raw host Ty Matthews joining us, and more about that later. Sorry to remind you.
Fine.
But Mickie James talking about her experience, getting pretty emotional, and despite any of the hardships, despite losing, despite not getting a chance to shake hands with Asuka, there was still the pride there.
I think she had one of the best backstage post-match promos of anybody.
Oh, sure.
It might be experience that just sort of gave that to her, but what she said was honest and concise, and it was what anybody in that situation would say.
Yeah.
Only she actually said it, and it sounded really great. Like she said she had trained for this for how long, and she felt strong against Asuka. She didn't necessarily feel that she was going to beat her flat out, but she felt like she was on par with her, which is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
She brought it to her.
No, they were toe-to-toe for the entirety of the match until that one slip-up.
Yeah.
And Asuka took
She just
advantage.
couldn't get away from that Asuka lock. God, she tried, but she just couldn't get away from it.
And if you want to hear more about we're talking about the recap show of the recap show, but if you want to hear more in depth of our thoughts, go watch our takeover show. And so because we're not going to get too much into the NXT title recap, because the more important thing is that we found out in 2 weeks from Osaka, Japan, there's going to be a rematch for the NXT Championship between Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura. It's do or die. Shinsuke's in his home territory. It could either be a huge win or devastating loss.
Asuka's home too.
Yeah.
So
and we don't know if we're going to get a title match from there either.
Something is going to happen involving her. I have no question about it. One way or another, it's Osaka, Japan. That's Asuka's home turf.
I mean, it sounds almost just like her name.
Yes.
Asuka, Osaka.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, why not?
I mean, but sure, you said it.
That's the end of that.
Back to you, Mark.
Thanks, Bill. Everybody, we're happy to be here on this break before our before Thanksgiving weekend. We're lucky that our show
We're
is
happy to have a break.
No, well, I mean, yes, we're happy to have a break, but we're also happy that we got a chance to connect with you one last time before the Thanksgiving holiday. But because Thanksgiving is this week, there is no better combo than turkey and football. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank our sponsor, DraftKings, for keeping our lights on and keeping all of our entertainment free for you, the viewer. So unless, of course, your fantasy football season isn't going quite as planned and your family won't let you hear the end of it, don't worry. It's never too late to save your season and win huge cash prizes at DraftKings.com. Now there's something to be thankful for. DraftKings is the destination for 1 week fantasy football. That means no season-long commitments to bus and bench warmers. Never again will injuries have you combing the waiver wire. It's a brand new season every week at DraftKings. Just pick your contest, draft your team, and follow the action live. Renew rivalries with friends and family every week. And what better place to start a rivalry with family than at the Thanksgiving table? That'll give you something to talk about. Or try the 50-50 contest where the top half of all entries win cash. Cash, not credits, cash. Even if your current fantasy team is cooked, you can still win huge cash prizes every week at DraftKings. Now, here's what you got to do. It's super simple. You got to use the code BUZZ at DraftKings.com right now and play for free with your first deposit. That is BUZZ to play free for your share of over $100,000 in total prizes this weekend. So get yourself to DraftKings.com now. That's DraftKings.com. Eligibility restrictions may apply. Please see the website for details. details. Thanks again to our friends at DraftKings.com. Getting on to our main event, we have a 6-woman tag match between Liv Morgan, Aaliyah, and Ember Moon versus Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, and Daria Baronato. What did y'all think of this match?
Y'all?
Yeah.
Is that the Royal Y'all?
It's the Royal Y'all.
All right. It was a pretty good match. But watching the crowd's reactions was really telling in this match. Because Aaliyah, this is her hometown crowd. So you can tell a lot about a crowd based on how they react to the hometown favorite and to those sort of revolving around the hometown favorite. You would hope that the people who are beating up the hometown favorite would get booed. But it sort of didn't happen between Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. Every time they got in that ring, they kind of do something flashy. The crowd wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, they
Because they don't want to clap, and they don't want to boo because it looked kind of flashy, but it's happening to somebody they like, so they're not going to react. But Daria,
they're not gonna give them the power that they want of, oh, we're beating this person up that you like.
right?
Yeah.
Like they're not going to clap, but they can't boo. A well executed move on somebody you like does not equal a boo. Just makes you go, well, I kind of respect that person now because they do things well. But when Daria was in there, she actually got the crowd behind Aaliyah, and
Because you beat the crap out of her.
that's how it works.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yes.
Tell me more, Sahib.
Well, when you want the crowd to actually get behind somebody, you have to start hitting them very hard.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Hold
or
on.
grab some soft tissue.
Let's write that down.
And how Daria managed to get Aaliyah down was a disgusting effort in itself. Just a strong double leg. You about done over there?
I read very slow. Sorry. I'll just watch the video back and I'll write it back later. Go ahead.
That double leg that Daria shot at Aaliyah was,
Yes.
was gnarly.
Dude, we saw that takedown in person. That's not fun.
I've had that done to me by Colt Toombs.
Oh, really?
And the way I landed gave me this pinched nerve. Made my arm go completely numb.
That's what did it to your arm?
Yeah.
And really quick, for those of you who don't know, who is Colt Toombs?
Colt Toombs is the son of Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Yep. And he's
so-
no joke.
No, he's a guy who's trained in mixed martial arts. So even a move as simple as a double leg takedown, done the way Daria did it, will level an opponent. And it certainly worked against Aaliyah. She went down hard, and she didn't get up for a while.
And then they called it a body triangle. It was a deep leg scissors.
Right, but it was all about where it hooked.
Yeah.
So she didn't hook her feet. She actually hooked her
hooked her own
ankle
leg.
into her
Okay.
like, knee pit.
Ugh.
Yeah. Well, it's just a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
And it works when you've got longer legs and a smaller opponent. On guys, you need some long legs to really get around and hook a body triangle on a guy. But on women, it's a little bit easier.
And she once Aaliyah started trying to get out, she added a choke in the back of it, really kept her down.
And she finally swiveled around into the guard and just started wailing on her.
Beating the crap out of her. Man, it is. I'm really excited that we've been talking about it for a while, and it's not just because she's a friend of the show. She is an AfterBuzz alum. But Daria got a full entrance. Her video looked like a versus screen on the UFC game.
Yeah.
Like they're starting to put a lot of their time and effort behind Daria because she is worth the time, and I'm so excited for that for her.
And of everybody in this match, I think Daria came off looking the best.
I agree.
Because everybody on the women's side sort of you knew who they were. Ember Moon, she's already over. We know what she can do. So she got really the hot tag.
Yeah.
So she just sort of cleared house. Aaliyah, she's the hometown favorite, so she naturally gets her ass kicked.
She took the brunt of the beating from all
The
sides.
heels want to make the statement of, we don't like anybody here, and we're going to show you by using this person as
We
a
traveled
surrogate.
from Australia to tell you we don't like you.
That's right.
And we're going to tell you that
Very
by
personal.
beating up a hometown hero.
And Liv Morgan had a lot of fire in the beginning.
Yeah, she started
which
off.
is what she's pretty good at, so they gave her that. But Daria was instrumental in sort of the end of this match.
Yeah.
They had kind of an overlapping It's just a series of moves, people diving in and out, taking each other out. And then Billie Kay grabs Peyton Royce, brings her over to the corner, grabs Daria to make the tag for her.
I like that and didn't like that at the same time. Because it was, a tag needs to be made. I ain't going to take the tag.
Well, it also took a lot of time.
It did.
Like, you guys are wasting a ton of time. Don't you want to win? Why don't
And
you
Billie
just
was
get in
fresh.
there and win? Right.
She was, out of 3 people, she was the most awake and ready to go.
It was not the smartest move, but it was probably the most egotistically driven, which is why they lost. Daria actually makes the tag, not exactly fresh. She got hit by, who was it? Who hit her before? Might have been Liv Morgan.
No, it was Ember Moon, and then Daria got distracted.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it was Ember Moon there at the end, but it was kind of an overlapping thing. Somebody hit Daria.
It was just a big kerfuffle.
Right.
Yeah.
In any case, Daria, confused as to why she was pushed into this situation, doesn't see Ember Moon up on the corner, takes that high-flying, what do they call it?
I don't know if it's the total eclipse
Whatever. Total eclipse of your ass.
Yeah.
Because
it's grass and it's been smoked.
Damn right.
That's the game. Daria unfortunately takes the pin. But I'm really, like, again, if they're going this assassin for hire, fighter for hire thing for her, I'm super down.
I don't think that's going to be the case now, though, because
No.
now she's got to be pissed at Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. She's got to be mad that she was made to suffer a loss. So I think she's going to come gunning for them.
I would
think
hope so.
they made a new enemy, and a dangerous one.
They're
Good
gonna-
job, girls.
They're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
Mandy Rose next. Maybe try to be friends with her. Be a nice Mean Girls faction. But that super excited about. I can't say enough about Daria. Excited about where Ember Moon's gonna go. Where all these ladies are gonna go, because this is the future of the NXT Women's Division.
It is.
All on display, except for Mandy Rose. But we've seen her before, and just because she wasn't involved in this match doesn't mean she's not the future.
Right.
Another tough enough competitor that's
It's
making
all
it
about
right
picking
now.
your spots.
Exactly.
And they probably had her working down in Florida, probably for a good reason.
Probably. Yeah.
You need that time before you get in front of that really big crowd. There's nothing like working in front of a big crowd.
Sure.
Mickie James said it. Once you get that energy and their energy flows through you, it's electricity. And learning how to control that and harness that is it takes time. So Mandy Rose can go and work in the smaller halls where there's less people, and then understand how that works and go
Build up to
and
it.
work into the big shows where there are thousands of people screaming at you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it for the show today. But we're gonna do very very quick piece of news.
AfterBuzz TV.
Because it created a lot of controversy. I was gonna say friend of the show. I'm just gonna say everybody friend of the show.
They're all friends.
Yeah, they're
We're
friends. We're
Friendship Express.
Yeah. Woo woo. All aboard. Scott Dawson making waves a little bit.
Mouth of the South.
A lot of folks asking him about like they were expecting, since they lost the titles, that he was going to debut in the big multi-tag match up on Survivor Series, maybe take out one of the teams and get in there. His response being, do you think that we would, the best tag team in the world would debut in a stupid multi-team gimmick match? Hashtag top guys, hashtag greatest team of all time, etc., etc., etc. In my opinion, part of the character.
No, that's okay.
That's part of the character. They are the greatest of all time. He did a long post on Instagram today. That was really nice. Like they have to fight back up because they're still the greatest tag team of all time, but they don't have gold to show for it. Got some flack. He ended up deleting it. Bubba Ray.
Some flack from people above him.
Bubba Ray, but more importantly, Road Dogg, Brian James is like, you know what, boys, probably shouldn't have done that. So he deleted the tweet. I've said it on multiple AfterBuzz shows, and I'll say it again here. Said it on the Toronto show. I would love for the Revival to debut the night after New Day beats Demolition's record and beat them.
Yeah.
And be the new champions, and then they prove that they are the top guys.
The booze would be great.
Oh, it'd be huge.
Yeah, I would love. I imagine in my head it's an old school thing where people in the audience are throwing
Beer and say, this ain't WC, unless they're in Atlanta. Maybe they'll be in the South.
Yeah.
And it just turns into an old
Actually,
WCW
no, that
show.
would be Cheers. You need to do it in like Maryland. Ooh, that'd be hot.
Let's
That'd almost be a
Maryland.
riot.
It'd almost be a riot. And that's really it for news. The last thing that I wanted to mention was here at AfterBuzz TV this week was a huge week for us. We had 2 debuts. We had Lillian Garcia debuted, making their way to the ring with Brie Bella as her guest. Wonderful interview. And growing up in Southern California, you pick up a lot of things. One of those things is you pick up a little bit of Spanish. Lillian also has a bit of Spanish, and she debuted her Luchando con Lillian Garcia with their first guest, Rey Mysterio, which was a very funny interview. He talked about how when the match where it was for his mask and he had to take his mask off, and when he first took his mask off to the guys in the back, among the people were like Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Nash was like, "Hey, you're a pretty MFer. Why do you even wear the mask?"
The stories about him showing up at the very beginning of his career, I think Jericho talks about it. Everybody's like, who's the kid?
Yeah, because he looks...
Who's this, like, 13, 14-year-old that keeps hanging around?
It was a very great interview. It was fun. Lillian and her sister conducted the interview with Hijo de Hermosa, which is a super fan that just keeps following Lillian around places.
It's fun until they call the cops.
We haven't yet. Lillian said it's okay. Let's see how this works. But so if you are bilingual, if you speak Spanish, go check out Luchando con Lillian Garcia. It is a very fun show. Check out Making Their Way to the Ring. Also, today, X-Pac had Shane Hurricane Helms on the show. A lot of fun. Hurricane was one of my favorites growing up, so it was great having him on the show. Please check out all of our wrestling content. It's all on iTunes. It's all on YouTube. And if you don't have iTunes as a podcast listening device, submit the RSS link, which we have available on the website, to whichever Google Podcasts or whatever, and listen to it. You can listen to it directly on our website as well. If you go to AfterBuzzTV.com, find the show, listen to them there. You can listen to us. You can go on iTunes and leave us comments, leave us ratings, and we'll read them on the show. We absolutely love everybody who has been coming out and appreciate and loving the shows that we put out here on AfterBuzz TV, because we do it for you, the viewer. But
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
I don't understand.
These
don't just spring up out of the ground.
No. Yeah, it's been a fun road developing the show with Lillian. It's been a fun show evolving the show with Sean, X-Pac, and their respective teams. And we're coming together as a family, and the shows are going to get even better, even bigger, even better. And that's thanks to you, again, the viewer. So until next week, have a happy Thanksgiving, Hobo. Where can the folks find you on the social media?
You can find me on Twitter at TrueHobo. ProWrestlingTees.com/hobo is a place to get shirts, and they're doing their Black Friday thing, which I think is like 30% off. So go enjoy, buy some shirts if you want.
You got some good designs up there too, though. You got the Railroad Crossing, you got the Hobo Train Express.
Yeah, I got a few, but there are even more on our.
On NXTeam.spreadshirt.com?
NXTeam.spreadshirt.com.
So that's where you can get Hobo shirts, you can get Bill shirts, you can get me shirts, you can get NXT Team shirts, you can get all sorts of stuff that helps support the show and helps us go out to more wrestling events.
Yep.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. And Saturday I'll be in Tucson, Arizona at the Desert Diamond Casino for Championship Wrestling from Arizona. I'm fighting Ty Matthews and Eric Watts with my partner Jervis Cottonbilly for the United Wrestling Network Tag Team Champions. And now that I think about it, I think the whole illness thing that I have is Ty Matthews.
Oh, it's the sickness?
Next to me during the
He got you
show.
sick to try to take you out of the match?
I think it was intentional. I'm pretty sure this whole thing, it sprung up out of nowhere.
Power of positivity, my foot.
Right.
Power of affluenza. Influenza. What? Not affluenza. That's a completely different thing for a completely different type of show. You can follow me on Twitter at Mark B. Donick. You can follow Bill Handstock at Sundown Motel. You can follow all of us here at AfterBuzz TV. Make sure also go on to, I was going to say NBA, WWE 2K17. Download our images on Xbox, on Xbox. It's been a long day. On Xbox, on PS4. Make the NXT team on 2K17, and you can win an exclusive prize.
And hashtag it.
Use hashtag NXT team when you create the superstar so that we can find it, or else it's no good. But thank you everybody for joining us on today's episode. We will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.